Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to continue on my K-pop prediction video series, and today we're going to predict JYP. Disclaimer, I have not been an active JYP stan since 2017, so probably all of this is wrong. I only stand like 2 groups now under JYP. I tried to predict, and I'm probably going to do it wrong, so please remember that this is just for fun. It's not meant to be taken seriously. Before we start, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for crystal clear skin. And without further ado, let's get into the video.
Hey sweetie.
Stray Kids, I predict next year Stray Kids will gain a lot more attention from both Korea and the international market. I think they'll continue to release the amount of music that they've been releasing. They seem to release a lot of songs. However, I think that their newer songs will be more liked by the general public. By this, I'm not saying that they're going to change their style of music. I think that they will try to make it a bit more digestible for the general public to digest. And kind of like what they did with God's Menu and Backdoor, that they're still very Stray Kids, but they are way more, I'm not going to say like, they're more appealing to casual listeners. So I feel that's what they're going to do. I also predict that they will do really well on Kingdom, if Kingdom airs, if Kingdom ever gets up to air. Kingdom is a whole mess in by itself, but if Kingdom does air, I think they will do very well on the show. I think that they'll be able to show their abilities, their talents, and they will get a lot of traction because of this. I predict that maybe they'll be in the top 3, maybe win. But besides that, I don't really have much to say about Stray Kids. I think itzy will be a bit more busy than this year, but not as busy as Twice was around the same time of their career. I think that they'll release 2 Korean comebacks and debut in Japan. I think one of the comebacks will have a slightly different sound, but not a complete 180. I feel like they will slightly change concepts, but not really. It's going to be like, it's always going to be a teen crush, and it's always going to be a very itzy sounding sound, but I think that it's probably going to change visually or aesthetically. Like there's going to be like a slight difference, but not like a really big difference. It's going to sound very itzy, but there's still going to be a different sort of like overall theme. I feel like that's what I'm trying to get at. One of the comebacks is going to have like a different color or a different theme. I think they might do a bit more promotions in Korea. I feel like they'll be continuing promoting, they'll appear on shows and yada yada. I do think that one of their comebacks will be a huge hit. I feel like one of their comebacks will really be kind of like Wannabe and kind of chart as well, or even better. I feel like one of their songs of the releases is going to do really, really, really well. I also think that next year is going to be a year where we're going to see some of the members shine a bit more compared to other years.
Oh, I became a zombie. 난 또 가라 정처 없이. 내일도 찾을 것 없이.
For day 6, I predict day 6 will have 2 comebacks. 1 or 2 comebacks. And that Jae and Sunjin will return to promote with day 6. I also think that they'll get the same level of promo that they have been receiving because JYP sucks like that. I also have a feeling that they might get an OST deal and that it might actually do well, hopefully. Intuitively, I do think that Brian will continue releasing his covers, whereas Jay will continue releasing some solo music. Okay, for Twice, I think Twice will have the same promotions as they did this year if the pandemic doesn't, subsides. I think that they'll have 2 Korean comebacks and 2 Japanese comebacks, and I think they'll continue with the more mature sound of Cry For Me, but only for a while. I feel like one of the comebacks will continue with that synth pop sound, but for the next comeback they won't have that sound. But I also think that they might have a more experimental song, similar to More and More, like something a bit more bright, a bit more fun. I feel like those are going to be like duality that you're going to have for these comebacks. I feel like they'll have a bright one and a more mature sounding one. For which one it's going to be, I don't really know. Or they might just try out a whole new concept entirely. Now, what I'm going to say next might be controversial. I don't know how ones are about this, but completely from an outsider's perspective, I don't see Twice promoting solo yet. I don't really see it. I think that if they wanted to promote solo next year, they would have already laid the groundwork this year to be able to do so. So I don't really see that happening soon. However, I do think that they might start doing subunits, maybe in the albums or maybe debuting an official subunit. Who will be in that subunit? I have no idea. All I know is that probably the only member that I know is that it's probably going to be in the subunit is Nayeon. Besides that, I have no idea what type of subunit it's going to be, what type of idea they have. But I do think that subunits are either going to be introduced through the album or they're going to do an official release for the subunit. Besides that, I don't really see much solo activities besides the occasional solo magazine shoot that they have already had. I also think that Twice might have a moment of revival next year. I feel like they'll have, because lots of people have not been feeling their releases this year, I feel like next year that will kind of change and one of the releases will be very successful in the sense that it'll have sort of like the K-pop, maybe Korea or the K-pop community will be very enamored with one of their releases. Okay, so this is like one of the only groups that I stand on JYP. I left them last because I honestly don't know. So since JYP continues to mismanage GOT7, this is honestly depending on 2 things that we don't know. But I think one of them is, it depends. My predictions for GOT7 depend completely on resigning. So if GOT7 does not resign with JYP, which sadly was the plan once, I think that GOT7 will go their separate ways, but they won't disband. I think that they will go on a hiatus. I don't see them disbanding. GOT7 won't disband, but they will enter into a hiatus and move into different companies or make their own company. Again, this is if they don't resign. However, if they do resign, I would like to think, and I predict that GOT7 will do a lot of contract discussions. As I was saying, if they resign, I do see them trying to get better treatment for them. If that happens, I think GOT7 will release 2 comebacks, maybe continue with the subunits or solo debuts, continuing if they resign, of course. If they do, I do see one of the subunits getting a comeback, probably either Just 2 or JJ Project, but that will continue. I think that next year is going to be really good for GOT7 individually. I see Yeonjae, Jinyoung acting. I see Jackson continuing to work, promoting his solo work. I'm actually more where I think JB will continue making music. I feel like if they continue, probably JB is going to get the opportunity for a solo or maybe not, because JYP hates him, even though we would love that. I see them promoting. I'm actually more worried for Mark and Yoongyum, since they don't seem to be getting a lot of opportunities solo wise. And Bam Bam, I think that if the pandemic leads on and they do that, he could go to Thailand and promote for a while. I also see them getting a actual online concert. I feel like JYP sees GOT7 the same way they saw 2PM, as the sense of go on tour and make us money, and we'll use your money for other stuff. I feel that's sort of the way JYP sees GOT7. So again, this totally depends if GOT7 decides to resign or not. However, there seems to be more evidence proving that they did resign, which, well, JYP overall, I feel like next year is going to be focusing on making more boy groups that they'll just continue ignoring with Loud, and with all the ideas that they have of promoting more and more boy groups. Honestly, my expectations for JYP are low. So those were all my predictions for JYP. Tell me, what do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your predictions for JYP? If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for crystal clear skin and to give me validation. Please remember to stay safe. Happy holidays. Stream your faves, and I'll see you next time. Bye.